Good evening, Fort Thomas community. We're here again with our non-traditional instructional update video, NTI, as we're off school in our school buildings, but we are definitely in school at home. I want to give you a couple of updates. I can't say enough that we have to keep any social gatherings from occurring. We had to actually try to shut down Tower Park, not the actual park, but the field, the soccer field and the track, because we had too many teams practicing there that weren't our teams. Also lots and lots of people. So we apologize for that, but we really have to do that to prevent the virus from spreading. In addition, you probably heard the bad news that Prom and Prom to Dawn can't happen at NKU. They've closed down all the facilities, but we can promise you that we are going to make something happen sometime. So we are looking for other venues. I also am a mom of a senior at Highlands High School, and we know how important these kinds of things are, and we're going to make sure that we do everything we can to make those happen. Tonight, we're going to focus on Highlands Middle School. And Highlands Middle School actually was our first school about 7 or 8 years ago that started doing one-to-one with devices, MacBooks, and did blended learning. And we appreciate the leadership of the principal and assistant principal back then. Doc Labor was the assistant principal, and Mr. Mark Getz was the principal. And those teachers who blazed the trail for where we are today, we can't appreciate enough that blended learning and using technology. And they are continuing now. We have a couple of pictures here. Susan Anderson, one of our science teachers, already had some really cool lessons lined up and is excited about using different platforms. Talked to her right before school was out. Lindsay Reckers is using Microsoft Teams for bringing her math students together for help sessions. On and on and on. We've got tons of different examples, and we'll be putting those out on Twitter, especially over the coming days. I want to show you one example of a really cool project, just to show you how students, this is a student in Ms. Stephanie Griffith's class, how our students are still learning and creating and showing all that they've been able to accomplish online.
Welcome to a new series called Women Who Inspire, brought to you by Highlands Middle. Today we will be talking about Eleanor Roosevelt. She was born on October 11th, 1884 and passed away on November 7th, 1962 from tuberculosis. She was an American political figure, diplomat, and activist. She had an upsetting childhood, having suffered the deaths of both her parents and one of her brothers at a young age. Roosevelt was a controversial first lady at the time for her outspokenness, particularly on civil rights for African Americans. She advocated for expanded roles for women in the workplace, the civil rights of African Americans and Asian Americans, and the rights of World War II refugees. She pressed the United States to join and support the United Nations and became its first delegate. She served as the first chair of the UN Commission on Human Rights and oversaw the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. By the time of her death, Roosevelt was regarded as one of the most esteemed women in the world. She inspired multiple people by the time of her death. She was ahead of her time. Eleanor Roosevelt will forever be remembered. Well, Bluebirds, that's the end of our first episode, Women Who Inspire.
In addition, for our last thing tonight, we want to hear from Mr. Michael Howton, our principal. Here he is talking with us about NTI days at Highlands Middle School.
Hello everyone, Michael Howton, principal of Highlands Middle School. Thanks for sharing a few minutes with me. I'm here to talk a little bit about our NTI days plan and what's happening at Highlands Middle School. First, let me say with gratitude and appreciation, just the effort all of you are giving as parents, as teachers, as students to make this transition from in-classroom learning to this non-traditional approach has just been impressive and from my perspective, very appreciative. Please be patient with us as we learn to innovate our approaches and improve what we're doing in regards to lesson activities, because we recognize sometimes we think things may take 20 minutes and they could take 45 minutes to complete, or we may think they take 45 minutes and take 15 minutes. Our objective is to hit around 20 to 40 minutes of instructional engagement daily in each class, and we appreciate any feedback on that as we go through. Just to instill some confidence in each day, I log into and skim our Schoology learning platform, and I look at the types of lessons that teachers are posting for students to engage in. And then I'm also looking at student submissions, like what kind of work are they providing us back through this instructional experience. And I can say that I've been impressed. There's been a variety of lesson activities from students engaging in online book discussions to blend space experiences where they're watching some videos, answering some questions, writing some responses. They're creating their own videos. Students are still learning foreign language by teachers recording themselves and videos and sending them to teachers, and then students sending things back with them speaking the language. We have live time-bound events that can take place periodically where the students are with the teacher at the same time. Just a variety of experiences happening. I've seen submissions of students playing their instruments, which is pretty cool, for band and strings, and singing for choir. So although we're not in classrooms, learning is still taking place and at a level that's similar to classrooms. So please have confidence there. If you need support, please feel free to reach out to me at any time, counselors, but specifically if you have classroom challenges or questions, start with the teacher, and they're here to support and help you as well. Soon, I'll be sending out a survey from Highlands Middle School, just letting you provide some feedback and an opportunity to let us know if you're doing well, if you're doing great, if you need some support. We just want to, again, engage you and let you know that we're in this together, and we want to support and help everyone be as successful as possible. Again, I appreciate all of you. If you need anything, we're here. Thank you so much. Continue on being successful.
We appreciate everything that you're doing. We know this is a trying time for all of us, and the Fort Thomas community is going above and beyond. When I say community, I mean our students, our teachers, our staff, our administrators. We are leading the state, we're leading the nation, because this is what we do. We pull out all the stops, we do whatever it takes for our students. And I want to thank everyone for hanging in there and making us continue to be the best of the best. Thank you.